I've been doing real estate for over 26 years, and I've done over 200 deals right here in Puerto Rico. Today, I'm going to show you the exact system I use to find cheap properties that make me money. First, we're going to talk about estorbo público. Every town on the island of Puerto Rico has its very own list of blight properties, or properties that are sitting abandoned and distressed, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them. I've seen locals make friends with the politicians who are in control of this list and get fantastic deals. This one that I'm telling you guys is a part of the roadmap. I'm talking to you as a local because it really hasn't worked well for me. I could go in and talk to the mayor. Why is he going to give me one of those properties? I don't represent the voting base for him, so it's really not something that it's going to work for me. But I like to partner with locals, and if you can do that, if you know someone in your local municipality who's in control of this list, there could be great deals for you. And if you want to partner with me, leave me a comment. I don't think you're going to find these things online. I think this is a personal relationship where you're going to show up in person, ask the people in charge about these houses, and build relationships. Puerto Rico is Relationship Island, guys. Stick around, because that wasn't one of my favorite ways to buy properties on the island, but these next few strategies, they are. Strategy number 2 is actually going to look at the foreclosures in every municipality on the island of Puerto Rico. And this is a big one, guys. This is the way that we've made our money in real estate investing long before we ever came to the island of Puerto Rico. I used to buy 2 houses a week across the state of Florida at the foreclosure sales, and now we're implementing this strategy here on the island of Puerto Rico, and it's gonna pay off big time. In Puerto Rico, like in most places in the US, the courts will post foreclosure cases publicly, but almost no one is watching them. And unlike in the States, it's not so easily to get. So when I'm looking at a foreclosure sale in Orlando, Florida, I can go and pull up a site and bid online. Life is easy. I can bid on case after case and county after county, sitting from the comfort of my home. That's not true on the island of Puerto Rico, and this is one of the reasons that this is one of my favorite strategies moving forward, because I like to do the hard stuff that nobody else will, and that's where we find the big profits. So let me tell you, we're looking for auctions where the debt is low, the location is good, and the comps are strong. And this can be a gold mine, especially if you know how to read the court documents. And guess what, guys? These court documents that I'm telling you you've got to read, they're written in Spanish, so it's going to be very helpful if you're at least bilingual. So for me, going and reading these documents takes a ton of effort. I like to partner with locals. Again, I say that again and again on all of these videos. This is one place where we are. Adon and I go to this foreclosure sale, and he's able to read the court documents, and we've got a couple of other people on the team that help us out as well. But it's not something that's really for me. If you're a local, it's easier for you. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you how to find diamonds buried in bad listings. I love buying foreclosures from my home in Orlando, Florida, because I can do it from my house in my underwear. And here's a photo. All right, let's talk about the overlooked listing play. We love to look at these listings that have gone out there and have been out there for a long, long period of time, and they haven't sold, or maybe they're not even on the market anymore. These are where you're going to find the diamonds. People wanted to sell, but they couldn't find a buyer. And guys, the market here on the island of Puerto Rico, it's not very efficient. So there's a lot of these, and they can be gold mines. Remember I said this is Relationship Island. You've got to make a lot of phone calls. You've got to call on these old listings. Maybe you need to track down the sellers and get away from the realtors who weren't able to sell them. But you might be able to contact the realtor, and he's still in contact with the seller, and there's still a deal to be had. So don't give up in either scenario. Guys, and you know the listings I'm talking about. Listings where they try to say that the house looks good enough that you should buy it for top dollar. When you look at the pictures, it looks like a piece of junk. We like to call them El Dumpo. Sometimes I call them zombie houses. Basically, it's bad marketing in an inefficient market, and they just don't sell. So that's an advantage for you, the real estate investor. And when I was starting out young, one of the main ways that I made a lot of money was taking listings that realtors were putting out there and marketing incorrectly. And then I would make them a lowball offer. I would get it under contract, and I would take the same house. This is back in the day when we did things through the newspaper, and they would have it out there as beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Conway, Florida, and you can buy it for $120,000. And I would offer them $60,000, and then I would get my offer accepted because the house wasn't beautiful. It was a piece of shit. It looked terrible. And nobody who was going to look at it was going to buy it. They felt duped. They felt like they were being taken advantage of. So I changed the script. I'd get it under contract for 60. I would run my ad that would say handyman special, or bring your paintbrush and your hammer, or El Dumpo. Anyways, the point is I would let people know that what they were looking at was something that was distressed, and I would say things like, buy it for $70,000, put $10,000 in it, and then sell it for $120,000. By changing the ad, I was able to sell, I would say, dozens, maybe even hundreds of properties that way. It was literally a gold mine, and all I did was market a little bit differently than the realtors who had the listings. That can be done, my friend, on the island of Puerto Rico right now. All right, guys, next I'm going to show you the boots on the ground method that works better than any app, and we call it driving for dollars. I've been a real estate investor, like I said, for over 26 years. I have always employed this driving for dollars, and I do it even more now that I'm on the island of Puerto Rico. I talked about how inefficient the market is here. So driving for dollars and finding these properties that are for sale, this is just another way where if you put in the effort and you put in the time, you're going to find the deal of a lifetime. And here are the signs that I'm looking for when I'm out there driving for dollars. No electric meter. Boarded up windows, or here it could be blocked up. So when they board up a house on the island of Puerto Rico, this is a fun fact, they don't use plywood like we do back home in Florida. They actually take cinder blocks and block in the windows and doors. Pretty freaking cool, huh? So when I find something like that, I snap a picture and I start trying to find the owner. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll get out of my car and start walking around the house until the nosy neighbor, there's always a nosy neighbor even in Puerto Rico, comes out and asks, who the hell am I and why am I there? And then I say, hey, I'd like to buy this house. Do you know who happens to own it? Most of the time, I don't get very far with it, but every now and then, I get a phone number and I get in touch with the seller. And when I do, I know that I've got a distressed seller. I know that the house is in distress. I've been there, I've looked at it. And when I'm talking to them, I'm able to make great deals because of it. What happens a lot of times on the island of Puerto Rico, why these houses get left and abandoned, is because people die. And when they die, the inheritance goes from person to person to person, and you get this daisy chain where 10 cousins own it, and they're all in the States. No one lives on the island of Puerto Rico, and they don't know what to do with the property. And we provide a solution for them. As real estate investors, you get paid for the solutions you provide, or say it another way, you get paid to solve the problems. So if you can solve the problems for these distressed sellers, you can make a lot of money. And I think back on it, and I would say this is how I found some of my most profitable deals on the island of Puerto Rico. All right, hang tight though, because my next move is where the real secret sauce comes out. You see in my videos, these steps, they build on each other. I like to talk to the locals in the neighborhood where we're finding the zombie houses. So that means I'm talking to the nosy neighbor. I'm talking to the guy who's sealing the roof of the house next door. I'm talking to the contractors that are renovating the house around the block. These locals know everything about the neighborhood. They know who passed away. They know which houses have been abandoned for dozens of years. They know who's behind on their mortgage even, guys. We've literally had people hand us keys just because we asked. We did that recently actually on a foreclosure that we just bought, fixed up, and then we just sold. I'll do another video on that. But we were looking at it to go to the foreclosure sale, talked to the neighbor, and she said, here, I have the keys. And we got to go in and see the entire house, which gave us a big advantage when we were at that foreclosure sale because we got into the property and no one else did. You still with me? You should be. I'm about to show you how we scale this. And this is one of my favorites, the Rainmaker system. This is, we'll call step 6. Guys, I love me some Rainmakers. Here's where it gets good. I teach other people how to find these deals and we close them together. That's what our Apex community is. It's not just a group, it's a machine. We've got folks closing their very first deals, flipping houses, doing the buy and hold method, and even wholesaling. All here in Puerto Rico and throughout the USA. And if you want to build wealth, you don't need 100K. You need the right system and the right crew. Join us over on Skool. The links are in the description. The links are everywhere. Hell, comment yes and I'll send you the link and you can join the free community. And guys, if you're already there and you really want to scale, you want to kick it up a notch, we've got a paid community. And while the free community is great, the paid community is even better, and we're actually actively doing deals with people inside of our Apex community. So if you like that, comment Apex. I'll send you the link for that. It's $97 a month. Guys, it's the best money you'll ever spend. If you want to do a deal with Robbie Krager, the Flip Flop Flipper, join us on Skool, on our Apex community, and let's go. Let's do some real estate deals together, and let's make a bunch of money. Watch this next.